Hello and welcome back to Tinker Talks Guns. And today we're here to talk about the Ruger Gunsite Ranch Scout Rifle. Now I have to confess, I have been wrong about the Scout Rifle concept for decades. Because my first acquaintance with it came from a magazine article where some fellow was speculating about the use of the Scout Rifle as a modern military weapon. And he had some interesting things to say about the idea, and I thought, fabulous, what a grand idea, since it's apparently 1939. And I dismissed the whole concept of the Scout Rifle wholesale because in the 1990s, using it as a modern military weapon for the roles he described was just dumb. Now, I don't think the writer was dumb. I have no idea who it was. I don't think the writer was dumb. I think he had a deadline and needed to get an article out and was just blue skying a notion. Because controversy has always provoked interest and sold magazines. Now, the idea was the idea was brought to the fore by Jeff Cooper. And I say brought to the fore because in World War II, there were Germans armed with relatively short K98s with a forward-mounted long eye relief scope that were scouts, basically. And Cooper, I don't know if he knew about that or not, but his concept was for a light, handy, do-it-all rifle that would be very useful, very fast, very easy to carry a lot and shoot a little. He specified .308 caliber, which is a good all-rounder because part of the concept was that it had to be capable of dealing with animals up to 450 pounds and ideally able to reach out to 500 meters against a man-sized target, though mostly it was anticipated that it would be used at much shorter ranges. Now, because for a variety of reasons, including that stripper clips were originally a thing that was used with the idea, it had a forward-mounted long eye relief scope or a pistol scope so that the ejection port would be clear so that you could use stripper clips. But also because using the forward-mounted scope meant you had a broader field of view with peripheral vision, and the scope was actually kind of like picture-in-picture for precision shooting, but this allowed you to maintain better situational awareness. That was a great idea. Now, optics have moved on since the 1980s. Stripper clips are much less a thing, and optics have, as I say, they've come a long way. Right now, I think an LPVO would fit the role perfectly. Now, this one came to me with a Burris scope mounted that has an illuminated reticle and is really, it's a 1.5 to 8 power scope. And it's very nice and it works very well. But I'm not sure it's really the right scope for the Scout to fit the Scout Rifle concept because it's very much a traditional scope and it does limit your field of view. And even at 1.5 power, got the scope cap on, that's helpful. At 1.5 power, you can keep both eyes open and use it kind of like an LPVO, but I really don't think it's the best choice. Now, the original owner was allowed to use this at the Gunsite Ranch Scout Rifle course, so apparently it is acceptable. And this one came with a bunch of 10-round magazines. And 10 rounds of .308 is a pretty good capacity. If I were to take this hunting, I don't know that I'd actually take a second magazine because really I don't get that far out into the pucker brush. And if I need more than 10 rounds is probably not enough. Well, 20 rounds probably wouldn't be enough, or 30 or 40 or whatever. But this was made, it's called the Gunsite Ranch Scout Rifle, so it's obviously acceptable to Gunsight Ranch, which was originated by Colonel Cooper. Now, it does have a muzzle flash dispersing device. It does have shielded front sight and iron sights that are adjustable a bit. But mainly you're meant to rely on a scope. The iron sights are a backup. And with the forward-mounted pistol scope, that was the best solution in the 80s. But again, an LPVO would probably be a better choice because you look through it and the scope just kind of disappears, especially on zero power. So you're not really losing the advantage of the forward-mounted scope. And this gun is kind of heavy for the scout rifle concept, because in this trim with the scope, it weighs about 10 pounds, and they're supposed to be quite a bit lighter than that. The original specification was 6.5 to 7 pounds for the rifle with the optic, because this was meant to be lightweight for carrying through the brush around the ranch, as a survival rifle while camping in the deep woods and things like that. Now, Cooper worked with Steyr and produced sort of the ultimate expression of the scout rifle. And you should look that up because they're pretty neat. They even incorporate a built-in bipod in the foregrip. And so that was kind of the ultimate. This is a nice rifle. It is a good rifle. But it's not really dead on to the scout rifle concept because of the weight, including the optic. And if you mounted, even with a pistol scope on it, this would probably still weigh 8.5 or 9 pounds. But I quite like it. I like short handy rifles. And it shoots rather well. Now, I hadn't been to the rifle range for a while, so I did not have high hopes for my performance with the scout rifle. And what I had to shoot that day was random Lake City military spec ammo, which is not renowned for its accuracy. So let's have a look at how that went.
Yeah, at your age, you shouldn't be working with a ladder anyway.
Yeah, that's very true. That is dangerous.
I can say that to you because I'm a lot older than he is.
Yeah. Oh, you dropped it. Just hit 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, I'm gonna go shoot the paper off there for a little while. Okay.
So, walking out to the target, have a chance to see just how crap I am, and I'm betting I'm pretty crap. Haven't done this for far too long. Okay. I'm crap, but I'm consistent. So those shots were here and here, about an inch apart. And the flyer was at least closer as the flyer from the first group. So, first time shooting the rifle, I'm okay with that, more or less. So given how long it's been since I've done any serious rifle shooting, that went rather well. I did not bother sighting it in because I just wanted to get the feel for the rifle and see how it shot. And in both groups that I showed, I shot basically 2 bullets an inch apart and 1 off to the side, and that's all me. I am quite certain of that. But, and the gun is pleasant enough to shoot with the, I may have complained about the extra weight, but that does really help soak up the recoil. I have a 6.5 pound 300 Savage, and if you're not minding your P's and Q's, it can be a little brutal. So, all in all, it's a great rifle. I'm not likely to keep it. I have a friend who wants it. And I think I'm going to let him have it because, purchase it from me. I am not offering this rifle for sale because I have other rifles that fill this role. And frankly, my rifle safe is getting a little full. So this will probably be moving on, but if I had to keep this and live with it as my hunting rifle, etc., I would not feel abused at all. There's very nice checkering on the forearm and on the grip. It is a laminated stock of stabilized wood, which means it's very tough and durable and weather resistant. And I really like having the full-length rail along the top so you can mount whatever kind of optic wherever you want. And overall, it's a dandy little rifle, and I can see why they're so popular. Whatever questions I had about the Scout Rifle concept were satisfied when I actually bothered to research it. So, all in all, it's pretty nifty. So, anyway, I think that's it for this time. I'd like to thank my supporters on Patreon. This is very much a shoestring operation, and your contributions help more than you know. I'd also like to thank channel benefactors, those individuals and businesses who have contributed so very much to this channel and really helped make it work. And as always, I'd like to thank Rain City Shooting Center for providing material support to the channel, and Renton Fish and Game for being there for me to do things like test stuff like this. And so that's it for this time. I hope this finds you well. Stay safe, take care, and I'll talk to you again real soon.